provided dentistry services to adults and children since 1988, continuing what his father started in 1944. Call 483-1339 to set up an appointment today. And remember, go Wildcats.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
come on, seriously? This is so extra.
But what you could say is,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them. Online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so extra. Get with someone who can actually help. Contact me, Agent Laura Lynn Green, today.
Main Street Lofts, a premier rental community to do what you do. Enjoy life and thrive in historic Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Enjoy the lifestyle you deserve.
And welcome back to Blankenship Field, getting set for this football game between the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats and the Cleveland Blue Raiders. The Wildcats have started to make their way down the 72 steps here at Blankenship Field. On homecoming 2025, the Oak Ridge Wild Band, combined with the Jefferson and Robertsville Band, is down on the field, ready to form a corridor to allow them to run on to Blankenship Field to the home sideline to get ready for the fifth game of the 2025 Oak Ridge High School football season. The Wildcats come in 4-0 undefeated. They're the number 5 ranked team in the state of Tennessee, trying to win their first region ball game. Alex Myers and Mike Sheehan join us here. Nothing like homecoming as the Wildcats come down the steps.
Absolutely, David. Homecoming is there every Friday night in this booth and at this stadium are special, David Clary, but few are like homecoming. There's the rivalry games, but there's something that just brings the generations together like homecoming. They got the 1980 class up there celebrating one of their reunions. So many friends and faces. I've been told that Bill Young, the great Bill Young, is planning to be here tonight. Mike, you've seen a bunch of these homecomings. It's always special, isn't it?
It certainly is. A lot of people you knew came back, and it's a great time to visit with old classmates and meet new friends here at homecoming. And it's a beautiful pageantry, too.
And the Wildcats are massed behind the sign, and here they come on to Blankenship Field. As you can hear, roll Wildcats roll from the Oak Ridge Band down below at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats come out all dark today as they'll take on the Cleveland Blue Raiders. Cleveland is a team we haven't played since 2014. Alex, you might remember the touchdown reception by Colton Wade. That was the only touchdown in the game scored by either team, and the Wildcats went on to win that game 10-6. So it's been 11 years since the two teams have played, and this is a region ball game tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of a new rival. We haven't played them a bunch throughout history, and it's interesting. That was a cold, cold night, if you can remember that. Thankfully, we were up here in the booth. But this Cleveland team, talking to their radio guys before, talking to Coach Rang, and just kind of seeing their record, this is a team that had a lot of people transfer during the offseason. And so what is usually a very talented team it's not that they have no talent, but they're certainly not what they would have been and what maybe we would have expected coming into the start of this season. But, David, either way, that's a big school, a prideful community, and I'm sure they're hoping for a big surprise and an upset tonight.
Like Coach Rang said before the ball game just a moment ago to me in his interview, he was talking about how we're more familiar with the Cleveland basketball program. We play them every year. Coach Green, of course, was the head coach down at Cleveland for several years. Captains for the two teams are out on the field. The Blue Raiders have made their way onto the field. They're wearing all white and blue. Their captains are out on the field. Oak Ridge has won the toss, has deferred to the second half. Alex, let's take a quick timeout. We'll be back with the kickoff. It's Oak Ridge and Cleveland, homecoming 225, the Oak Ridge Hall of Fame, and the homecoming court will be presented at halftime. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the kickoff of this ball game on FM 92.7 and YouTube channel Prep Radio following this 60-second timeout.
Test, Brian, test, Brian, test. Test, Brian, test, Brian, test.
And we appreciate all of our sponsors as we get ready to broadcast this ball game from Blankenship Field. The crowd continues to file in. Dropping back to receive will be Isabel for the Blue Raiders and one other guy. We're waiting for the officials. The whistle sounds. Eli Pearson has the ball on the tee, and we're about to get set here from Blankenship Field. And here's the kickoff of the ball game. It is a line drive kick. It is going to go sailing in and out of the end zone. We've talked about this many times, Alex and Mike. It's great to have a weapon like Eli Pearson to start and kick off ball games that they have to allow the other team to start at the 20 as the Blue Raiders come to the line.
Absolutely. Eli Pearson, we talk about it each and every week, David, but it's just such a weapon. And forcing teams to have to drive 80 yards just to score, especially at the high school level, it's just a real-world challenge for offenses, especially when your defense is as good as Oak Ridge is.
Coach Rang has told me they have struggled to run the ball this season. They split out two receivers to the near sideline. The Oak Ridge sideline handoff goes to the running back, and he doesn't have any trouble running the ball as he moves the ball for a gain of about 8. He told me that they've had trouble running the ball. They've got a talented quarterback. They've got a really good running back, or receivers, but not a bad run there. A gain of 8 on the play. It'll be second down and 2 yards to go, just underway from Blankenship Field. Second down, 2 yards to go. The ball is at the 28-yard line. They shift from the left side over to the right side. Oak Ridge with a 3-man front. We'll get the starters for you here in a moment. Quarterback from the shotgun. Hand off once again to the back. He's met and blasted in the backfield. The Wildcats come in strong. Before, almost really when he handed the ball off, Beard was blasted, and it'll be a loss on the play.
Yeah, Blake Woody came in from that linebacker position, and he almost took the handoff. He penetrated quickly and effectively, and a couple of the Wildcats came in. You talked about the starting lineups up front for Oak Ridge. King Sandoval, Tim Walters, and Dominic Vasquez. At linebacker, Caden Stewart, Blake Woody, who we mentioned a moment ago, and Amante Bishop. Will get the safeties and corners in a moment.
Third down, 8 yards to go. Once again, a pass out of the backfield. The pass is caught, but it's going to be short of a first down. He'll be about 3 yards short. Go ahead and get the rest of the defense in as the Wildcats prepare to receive the punt.
At cornerback, sophomore Zayden Williams and senior Jarrell Jimerson. At the spur position, that's Wayne Gibson. At the wasp position, that's the other safety, that's Quavez Williams. And the other safety, the 11th man, is Tyree Porter.
Ball is at the 26-yard line. The Wildcats dropping back. Jarrell Jimerson back at the 40-yard line. Wildcats put about 6 guys on the front. 4th down and about 4 yards to go. 10-11 to play. We're in the first quarter. Good snap, some pressure. The kick is away. It's high, very high, wobbling over towards the Cleveland sideline. Takes an Oak Ridge bounce back up the field. It'll be officially put down at the 44-yard line, and that is where Oak Ridge will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. Alex Myers, you've got the starting lineups for the Wildcat offense.
Left to right up front, left tackle who committed today to the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, Jared Bafford. Elijah Young at left guard. At center, Caden Chipman in place of the injured Torrey Holt. At right guard, at right tackle, Nate Stevens, and it looks like we've got a substitute at right guard. We'll get him in a moment. Quarterback, Blaine Stansberry. Running back, DeMillion Porter. Tight end, Malik Howard. Will Presley, Jarrell Jimerson, and Adam Washington are your wideouts.
From the 44-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats heading towards Jackson Square. Blaine's going to throw it out of the backfield, and the pass is incomplete. Might have been a little bit behind the line of scrimmage, but I think they're just going to call an incompletion. Oh, no, they're going to say it was a backwards pass all the way back to the 35-yard line. So not a great start for the Wildcats as Oak Ridge comes to the line quickly. Stansberry in the backfield along with DeMillion Porter. 2 receivers split to the right. DeMillion's going to get the handoff down the Oak Ridge sideline on the short side of the field. And we have a flag right out of the chute. I think the person you were looking for, the new person in there, is Tristan Chartrand. He's 5'11", 252 pounds. Not a great start for the Wildcats, Alex.
No, it's not. But like you said, I wanted to give a shout-out to Tristan. He's a senior making his first start tonight. Unfortunately, on that play, one of the Wildcats was called for a holding. But nice to see a senior getting his first shot. Hopefully he can make the most of it. I know that's an exciting moment for him, I'm sure.
9 minutes, 33 seconds to play, all the way back to the 25-yard line where it is now second down and 29 yards to go for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge trying to go 5-0 on the year. And they're going to reposition the ball. I think they went back just a bit too far. They're going to put it back at the 34-yard line. I've said this many times before, and I'm not picking on the officials association. They do their best. Actually, they're going to decline the penalty. It'll bring up third down and 19 yards to go. The ball is at the 34-yard line. The Wildcats need to get to the Cleveland 46-yard line for a first. Blaine Stansberry at quarterback. In motion will come Jarrell Jimerson over towards the Oak Ridge sideline. Blaine has plenty of time to throw. Is going to go deep. Down the way it goes. It's overthrown. He had Adam Washington wide open. Nobody even within 6 to 10 yards of him, but he went to Will Presley, and the pass is incomplete, and the Wildcats will be forced to punt.
Yeah, both Will and Adam had man-to-man coverage that time. The safety help rolled over to the opposite side when they sent Jarrell Jimerson in motion, so they were both man-to-man, but unfortunately where that ball was placed, it took Adam's man away and towards Will, and so it had to be almost a perfect throw to make that happen.
Low snap. Here's the punt by Eli. It is a fair catch signal for him made at the 30-yard line. That's only, I believe, about the 4th punt all season long for Eli Pearson. And the Blue Raiders will have their second possession. Mike Sheehan, not a great start for the Wildcats as the Wildcats go backwards on their opening drive. They do get a stop on defense, but offensively the Wildcats didn't get it going.
Yeah, offensively the Wildcats definitely need to get it done. But defensively now they've got on the 30-yard line, not as better field position by 10 yards, but the Wildcats going to have to buckle down and hold them right here.
Low snap, big hit by the Wildcats right at the point of attack. Big hit by Oak Ridge on the right side. It'll be, I believe, probably maybe a yard gain on the play. The tackle is by number 4, Wayne Gibson. You can usually tell when there's a hard hit on a receiver, it's usually going to be Wayne Gibson.
Well, it's not only, David, that he's got that leverage and he hits low and he drives through tackles, but his timing is what is so impressive. You never see him getting interference penalties. He gets there as soon as he can without getting a penalty. It's the timing, not just how hard he hits.
It's a gain of 2 on the play for the Blue Raiders. Second down, 8 yards to go. Quarterback's in trouble. Again, he's rolling to his left towards the Oak Ridge sideline. Has running room if he elects to go, and he has good running room. He does go bounds, but not before he picks up a Blue Raider first down at the 41-yard line. The Wildcats got some good backside pressure, but he was able to get to the sideline and pick up a first down.
Yeah, Kason McGowan, the quarterback. I was down there I like to go down on the field, David, before the game and just kind of size guys up and see how big or small of a team they've got. And McGowan, their quarterback, is without a doubt their biggest guy on offense. He's probably 2 inches taller than anybody else. He looks like almost a tight end back there. Not a lot of size on this Cleveland team, but if he's a runner, watch out because he is a big, big athlete.
From the 42-yard line, 1st and 10, handoff to the back. He's hit in the backfield and he's going to go down. Back at the 39-yard line, the Wildcats getting good pursuit. Tim Walters, along with one other Wildcat, make the stop. It's going to be a loss on the play. That other Wildcat was, looks like Jarrell Jimerson. It'll be a loss back to the 39-yard line, making it 2nd and 12.
Great play by Walters and Jimerson, David, to get them on the ground. But that play kind of was started by Wayne Gibson. He didn't make the tackle. It was a missed tackle, but he got back in the backfield and slowed that runner down, forced him to go backwards to allow his other teammates to make the play.
Here comes some pressure out of the backfield. They complete the pass across the 40 up to the 45-yard line before the tackle is made. It'll bring up 3rd down, about 5 yards to go. 7:29 to play. We're in the first quarter of the scoreless ball game, first region ball game of the year for the Wildcats as they take on the Blue Raiders. The Blue Raiders, believe it or not, we haven't played them many times. They lead the series 3-2. They won the first 3 ball games between the two schools in 1968, 1969, and in 1987. The Wildcats have won the last 2 in 1988 here at Blankenship Field and as well in 2014 here at Blankenship Field. 3rd down, we'll call it 7 yards to go. The ball's at the 45-yard line of the Blue Raiders. Good snap. Here comes the pressure. Rolling once again. It's going to go deep with the pass. It's going to be incomplete. Broken up at the last moment by Wayne Gibson. It'll be 4th down, and the Wildcats will be back to receive the punt. Good defense that time. Wayne didn't turn around and look, but he was able to knock the ball away.
Yeah, it's what I'm talking about with Wayne. The timing is so good, and he was there. I thought it was going to be an easy pass interference, but Wayne did a nice job. He didn't get his head turned around, but he didn't put his hands up and make contact. He just kind of almost ducked as he got there, and I think just him being there forced that receiver to kind of lose the ball for him, and it was a nice play.
Here's the punt by Cleveland, another nice punt. It's going to take a bounce at around the 25-yard line. It's going to roll dead around the 24, and that's where Oak Ridge will take over. And Alex and Mike, hopefully the Wildcat offense will be a little bit more on sync on their second drive.
I want to see them get the ball out to the wide receivers more. Malik Howard, Will Presley, Jemerson, get these guys rolling. I think Stansbury's the man with the plan.
It'll be Oak Ridge first down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the Wildcat 24-yard line. They're heading towards Jackson Square. Good turnout of Oak Ridge fans across the way. Not a bad crowd for the Blue Raiders as well. Blaine Stansbury is the quarterback from their own 24-yard line. Here's the snap, and he's going to pass. Pass is going to be caught at the 30 to the 35, up to the 38-yard line. The catch is made by Oak Ridge's receiver, Jarrell Jimerson, and that'll be a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down.
It's a nice quick pitch and catch. They had a play fake quickly, froze the linebackers, gave Jimerson a little bit of space, and he knows what to do with it. As soon as he gets it, he's got dancing around. He's getting upfield, and like you said, that's a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down.
From the 38-yard line, first down, 10, 2 receivers to the right. It's going to be DeMillion getting the call, 40, 45-yard line up to the 47. Another big gain. That time a gain of about 8, maybe even 9 yards. Nice run for DeMillion. The Wildcats look a little bit better as they move the ball for a gain of 9. It'll be second down and a yard to go.
Yeah, DeMillion just showing that patience and vision. Talked about it last week on the postgame interview, and they kind of said that that's what he thought his best skill set was, and I have to agree. He's very patient behind that offensive line.
From the 47-yard line, second down, then a yard to go. The snap, the handoff to DeMillion, trying to get to the outside. He is going to be tripped up on a nice play back behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 45-yard line. They just kept stringing it out, and good play by Cleveland. It'll be 3rd down and 2 yards to go for a first.
Yeah, it was a junior, Javin Trammell, on the tackle. A nice play to stop him from getting first down yardage. Big 3rd down here, David. I'd like to see them give the ball to DeMille right here.
Line of scrimmage is the 46-yard line. There's movement across by Cleveland. That's going to give them a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down. Blaine does such a good job of using that cadence to do that, and that's a first down. And the Wildcats pick it up, and they'll walk the penalty yardage across midfield to the 49-yard line. Blaine does a great job at that.
He does, and he does it from the shotgun, which, granted, almost all offenses are shotgun offenses these days, but it just seems like as a defender, if the quarterbacks, it would be harder to keep your composure if the guy's under center, but being even back in the shotgun, Blaine's tremendous at the hard count.
1st and 10, here's a pass out of the backfield, trying to get a block, moves the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. His blocker in front, he kind of ran up the backside of him, and really no gain at all on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go.
But it was a nice job by Will. Will was out there as a solo receiver to that side to block, and Will's man tripped, and so Will kind of stops abruptly, which is why Porter ran right into the back of him, but Will didn't just move on. He stayed on him. So when that cornerback got up, Will just immediately resumed blocking, and it helped him get the first down yardage.
From the Cleveland 49-yard line, 2nd down, 10 yards to go. 2 receivers split to the left, 1 to the right. Blaine's going to pass, has some time now. Looks like he might run. Looks down the field. He's going to cut it up the field, move the ball for some yardage up to around the 43-yard line. Good coverage down the field, obviously, by the Blue Raiders as Blaine was forced to run out of the pocket. It'll be 3rd down and 4 yards to go.
Tremendous job that time. This won't go down in the stat book, but DeMillion Porter at the running back position, one of the most important things you can do has nothing to do with the ball in your hands. There was a blitzer that came flying up the middle and was going to have a free shot at Blaine Stansberry, and it was going to result in a sack. But the last second, Mills saw him, stepped up in front, and absorbed that block. It was a great play and a nice run by Blaine.
From the 43-yard line, 3:20 to play here. Porter. Blaine's got time to pass. Rolls right. It's going to go deep across the way. Passes caught for a first down. Will Presley, 35. Down the right block. 10. 5. End zone. Touchdown. Will Presley makes a great run down the Oak Ridge sideline, and Oak Ridge takes a 6-0 lead with 3:06 to play in the first quarter.
Tremendous play, great protection, nice timing throw. Will had to go quite a bit downfield before he turned around and curled that route. As he came back, Jarrell Jimerson ran a Will route, took the defender behind him, and then Jimerson with the great block about the 8-yard line to make sure that Will was able to get into the end zone. Beautiful offense.
Eli Pearson to attempt the extra point. The hold by Adam Washington, and the kick is good. 7-0 Oak Ridge, 3:06 to play first quarter. The Wildcats lead Cleveland 7-0, and we'll be back to Blankenship Field in 60 seconds.
They go above and beyond to ensure that you are supported during life's challenges. Be it a fender bender, burst pipe, house fire, or severe weather. Their commitment to exceptional customer service means they are always there when you need them, and they strive to keep their promises. I invite you to visit their office, give them a call, or explore their services online to start creating your personalized insurance plan. Don't forget to ask about their bundling options. Their team is here to help you maximize discounts and ensure you are safeguarded in every possible way. Together, they can assure you the confidence you need.
David Clary, Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan, along with Caleb Jackson, Matthew Charles, Connor Sharp, along with Miles Bergen, Jake Pfeiffer, and Grayson Brown. Brian Bennett back in the studios of FM 92.7. Eli Pearson about to kick off. 7-0 Oak Ridge, 3:06 to play. We were just underway here in the first quarter. The Wildcats scoring on their second drive, and here's the kick by Eli, and it is going to go once again sailing in and out of the end zone. Alex, nice play by Will Presley.
Tremendous play, and as good as Will's hands are, he's almost more dangerous after he gets it because we know the straight line speed, but he's got really nice vision as a ball carrier once he catches the ball. He knows what to do with it, and again, these receivers, all of them, block so well downfield. If an Oak Ridge player catches it, you're not just worried about them, you're worried about where the block's coming from, and it makes it a defender's job so difficult. What a response after a slow start on that opening drive.
Here's Cleveland once again. They'll start this drive at the 20-yard line. Two receivers split to the right of the quarterback. Now they shift to the left side. They've got a slot man on the right side, one lone running back, wearing their all-white jerseys with blue trim. Handoff goes to the back, hit and dropped by Big Tim. He drills him, and he'll shove him away. It'll be a loss on the blade. Big Tim just kind of dominated the young offensive line for the Cleveland Blue Raiders, and it's a loss on the play.
Yeah, Tim's fired up down there. He was vocal before the game in warm-ups, kind of chirping a little bit. And Tim has 2 or 3 times already here, just 3 series into this game, been totally disruptive in the backfield from that nose position. That time, the offensive line just had no shot.
2 receivers, make it 3 receivers to the left of the quarterback. They're going to go to one of them. He makes the catch. Wildcats make the stop, though, at around the 23-yard line. It's once again Wayne Gibson and Jarrell Jimerson there on the stop. It'll be for the Blue Raiders, third down, and we'll call it 7 yards to go. They're backs to Jackson Square on this beautiful night in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, with the Wildcats on top 7-0 with 2:08 and counting here in the first quarter. Once again, 3 receivers split to the right of the quarterback. Nobody in the backfield except the quarterback. Third down, we'll call it 7 yards to go. Straight drop, lots of pressure again. He's in a lot of trouble. He's rolling, looking, wants to fire a pass, incomplete. Wildcats really got great pressure once again by Amante Bishop along with Jarrell Jimerson and Big Tim once again. It's going to be 4th down, and Cleveland will be forced to punt.
Yeah, Nate Stevens, Caden Stewart back there. He had 4 gray jerseys bearing in on him. And just really no hope on that one. The offensive line, just 3 drives into this game, is already starting to leak a little bit. Looks like the levees are starting to break up front. I can't imagine what this thing's going to look like when these guys get winded.
4th down, and play is halted right away. Minute 45 to play. Remember, at halftime, we'll have the Laura Lynn Green State Farm Insurance halftime show. We'll have the statistics. Mark and Shauna Hayes will do that. We've got illegal procedure called against the Blue Raiders. We'll also have the homecoming and the Oak Ridge Hall of Fame. And, of course, some friends of ours getting into the Hall of Fame tonight, including Aaron Green. We'll talk more about that as the game progresses. 4th down and 12 now, a minute 45 to play. Punting from their own 5-yard line. Here's a good snap, lots of pressure. The kick is away. High kick. Jarrell's going to catch it at the 45 and run with it. 50 down the Cleveland sideline, 45, and then shoved out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. Officially, they're going to say the 41, and that is where Oak Ridge will take over. First down and 10 yards to go. Wilson shoves him out. The Wildcats guys with great field position.
Boy, I tell you, Jimerson almost blocked that kick. That was very, very close. He got off a beautiful spiral. But, boy, it would come within about a half an inch of being blocked. Jarrell was right in there on top of him.
The Oak Ridge offense back out on the field. The Wildcats on top 7-0. A minute 33 to play in the first quarter. Once again, Blaine Stansberry, the senior quarterback, with a man coming in motion towards the Cleveland sideline. That is Jarrell Jimerson. Blaine's going to go on a reverse to Jarrell, back a flea flicker, back it goes to Stansberry, to Malik Howard, who makes a one-handed grab at it, but he's out of bounds. It's a great catch, and a great play, but even better, honestly, Cleveland did not bite on the play, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, tremendous effort there by Malik Howard. Unfortunately, he just probably about 3 inches of turf more he needed on the sideline. He just barely didn't get that one, but it was an incredible effort. But like you said, hats off to the Cleveland defense, because we know when Mill gets the ball what a threat he is. So for them not to bite on that and not to fall for it and stay home with the safeties, that's a nice play.
Adam Washington split to the left of Blaine Stansberry. The Wildcats have 3 receivers to his right. Mill in the backfield. Mill gets the call 40 and down to the 35-yard line before he is stopped and pushed back by the Blue Raiders. It'll be for the Wildcats 3rd down. Around 4.5 yards to go for a first. The ball's at the Cleveland 34-yard line. Cleveland traditionally has had some great athletes, but as you mentioned, Alex, 12, I think it was a total of 12 players transferred across town to Bradley, and most of them were seniors. So that's a tough way. I look at their roster, too, and there's a lot of sophomores. We'll come back and talk in a moment. 48 seconds to play in the first quarter. 3rd down, 4 yards to go from the 35. Here's the handoff to DeMillion. He's got a first down. That's a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down across the 25 down to the Cleveland 24-yard line. 12 defectors went to Bradley, our opponent next week, as the Wildcats have a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
It was interesting talking to the radio guys up here in the booth before the game and trying to kind of give me a little bit of a scouting report on what we might see next week. And we were having a similar discussion talking about all the guys that they lost in the transfer portal. It's an interesting era we're living in, David.
14 seconds on the play clock, or actually 20 seconds on the play clock, 10 seconds to play in the first quarter. See the Wildcats even try here. It's first down, 10 yards to go, 5 seconds, and there's movement across the line. And there was no flags. The Wildcats are just going to take it, I guess, to the second quarter. I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to work a play in before the quarter expired, but that is the end of the first quarter. Oak Ridge has a 7-0 lead. We're live at Blankenship Field on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, streaming the game live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We'll be back to Blankenship Field with the second quarter, 7-0 Wildcats in 60 seconds.
For the Oak Ridge Wildcats. For more information or to schedule an appointment, please call their office or visit their website, www.kocortho.com. That's Knoxville Orthopedic Clinic of Oak Ridge. Some scores of interest in the first quarter. West nothing, Campbell County nothing. Anderson County 7, Carter nothing. Beard nothing. Hardin Valley nothing. Powell 7, Carnes 3. Maryville 7, Farragut nothing. Heritage 6, Fulton nothing. First and 10 Wildcats from the 24-yard line.
Stansberry back to pass, going to float it to a wide open Malik Howard. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. Malik Howard takes it in, and the Wildcats from 24 yards out go up on Cleveland 13-0 with 11:53 to play here in the first half. Wide open was Malik Howard. Easy touchdown for Oak Ridge.
David, he was wide open. It was one of the easier touchdowns you're ever going to see. It's not often that the defense loses the biggest man on the field. That's exactly what happened that time, and he just kind of waltzed into the end zone for an easy touchdown.
Here's the kick by Eli Pearson. It is up, and it is good. Get ready for another Oak Ridge kickoff. 11:53 to play in the first half. 14-0 Wildcats. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
The Wildcat football boosters want to send a huge, heartfelt thank you to the Oak Ridge High School cheer team, dance cats, the Wild Band for bringing the perfect amount of pep to Blankenship Field each week. Our football team, coaches, and boosters Truly appreciate the energy and support from these amazing groups. Thank you again, Wildcats. I'd like to welcome home the class of 1980 and members of the 79 state championship team as they celebrate their fourth.
Welcome back once again to Blankenship Field. The class of 1980 is having their reunion here. They're asking the class of 80 and the 1979 Wildcats state champion football players in attendance to stand and be recognized. I think they didn't really much understand that. The entire class of 1980 stood as we're about to have the kickoff. Here it is by Eli. Once again, end-over-end kick, and it's going to go in the end zone, and that is another touchback. Guys, a great start after a slow start. 14-0 Oak Ridge, 11:53 to play first half.
Just a great play the last time. That 24-yard pass from Blaine Stansbury to Malik Howard put the Wildcats up now 14-0 after Eli Pearson's kick again for the Wildcats. Great start here. Got off to a real slow start, but late in the first quarter and early here in the second quarter, the Wildcats are playing great.
Cleveland back on offense. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at their own 20. Now they're heading towards Jackson Square here in the second quarter. For those of you listening on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, back to pass, has some pressure, avoids the pressure, now cuts to the outside, now cuts back inside, and is going to be tackled after a gain of about 2 or 3. He looked down the field. He's a big kid. He's strong. McGowan is, but he just ran into all kinds of gray shirts. It's a short gain on the play, second down and 7 yards to go. King Sandoval there on the stop.
Yeah, he's a big kid and straight line. He appears to be a pretty good athlete, but unfortunately for him, Oak Ridge's defense is really quick, and when he starts dancing and kind of trying to juke, these gray jerseys are just going to swarm. If he decides to tuck it, he's got to make that decision and commit to it quickly.
2nd and 7. He is going to try to run it this time. He's going to get up to the 25-yard line before he is stopped by the Wildcats. I think it's Caden Stewart and one other Wildcat. And that is going to be, let's see, third down. We'll call it a long 6 to go for a first. 10:55 to play. Third down, 6 yards to go. Live from Blankenship Field, Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan. Wildcats need to stop right here.
Yeah, they could use a big one right here. You can almost start putting this game away if you can get another possession up.
Quarterback's rolling, running for his life, comes back with a throwback pass. Is going to be caught, but the Wildcats are going to make the stop right around the line of scrimmage. Wildcats, looks like Zayden Williams along with Oak Ridge's Tyree Porter there on the stop. It'll be fourth down, and once again the punt unit will come onto the field for the Blue Raiders. The Wildcats on top 14-0, clock moving, 10:15 to play in the first half, live from Homecoming 2025, and a nice crowd and a beautiful night in Oak Ridge. He'll be punting from his own 15-yard line. Jarrell Jimerson will be standing back at around the 43-yard line. Here's the snap. It's good. Here's the pressure. He's going to have to run for his life. He does kind of pooch it out of bounds. Goes to the cheerleaders here on this side. Wildcats got great pressure on him. He did a great job actually avoiding and was able to get a punt off, but it's going to be great field position for Oak Ridge.
They're going to mark that as about a 10-yard punt. It almost looked like an Australian kicker like you see so much in college where they run out to the side. Unfortunately for them, I don't think that was planned. It was about to get tackled in the backfield, and so the punter just kind of tossed one out there and tried to kick it up, and unfortunately for him, it went about as far left as it did high, which is to say not very. I'd like to see Oak Ridge go for the kill shot right here, David. Toss one towards the end zone.
Wildcats take over at the Cleveland 35-yard line. Oak Ridge's Demillion Porter right at the line of scrimmage, popped at that point by Cleveland's number 59 for them, Joseph Mogula. It'll be for the Wildcats, 2nd down and 10 yards to go. The Cleveland band across the way is making some noise. The Oak Ridge Wild band in attendance here. Very disappointed last week that Dobbins-Bennett did not bring their band here. Kudos go out to Cleveland for bringing at least some kind of a band here to Blankenship Field. It'll be for the Wildcats, 2nd down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 35-yard line. Blaine looks to pass, fires it out to Will. He's got it at the 35 to the 30, at the 25-yard line. He goes down at the 23, but not before he picks up a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
You know, and every week I'm amazed. Obviously, Coach Ring, Coach Kevin McKeithen, former Wildcat himself, it's one thing to say Oak Ridge has got great athletes, which they do, but it's not just like this offensive scheme is tossing the ball out there and let them make plays. It's advanced. They're getting blockers out, and there's schematically they just do so many things at the high school level that are really, really impressive, and that's another example right there, getting the sticks moved for another 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Line of scrimmage will be the 23-yard line. Wildcats with their backs to Jackson Square. Blaine Stansberry, the quarterback, is going to throw back, and the ball is going to be caught. Once again, that's Mill. He moves the ball 15, 10, 5, 3, into the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. The Wildcats take it in again with 8:28 to play in the second quarter, and Oak Ridge now leads 20-0 over Cleveland.
There is a guy about the 20-yard line that still, I don't think, knows quite where Demillion Porter is. Great play by the offensive line. They let the guys through to screen. And a great job by Blaine Stansberry floating that ball over, getting it over the defenders that were rushing in, and Demillion just did the rest, made a man miss, and it was off to the races. And there's another offsides on the extra point attempt by Cleveland.
8 minutes, 28 seconds to play. Remember, the Laura Lynn Green State Farm Insurance halftime show will take place. Mark and Shauna Haste will have the statistics. We'll have the homecoming ceremony. We'll also have Mike Sheehan's scoring summary. And so far, it's been all Oak Ridge. They're up 20-0, 8:28 to play, and kind of a fast-moving half. Anytime Packer's not here, the game goes quick. Eli Pearson to attempt. It'll be Pilgrim to snap. It'll be Adam Washington to hold, and here's the kick by Eli. It splits the uprights. 21-0 Wildcats. 8:28 to play, first half. We'll be back to Blankenship Field following this 60-second timeout.
Class of 1973 and class of 1995. Please stand and be recognized. Welcome home, Wildcats. Number 15, Eli Pearson to kick off. D for the Blue Raiders. Number 8, Cameron Wilson.
And we appreciate all of our sponsors. We would not get on the air if not for our sponsors, and I'll run them all down here in a bit. We're going to also have our trivia question. We'll let Alex and Mike handle halftime for us here. We'll have the trivia question from Fats Barbecue. We've used this question many times before, and I would expect to get a quick winner. Here's Eli's kick once again. It's high and over end kick. This time it is going to go right to the goal line, and that's another touchback. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. Alex, describe that play that gave the Wildcats a 21-0 lead.
Yeah, just a quick screen, and the screen, it seems like a simple play, but it's not, because the linemen have to hold just long enough the quarterback gets time to drop back, but then they have to immediately let the rushers through so that they can get out on the edge and start blocking for the running back. As that happens, Blaine, because he's got defensive linemen running with their arms up straight at him, he can't just throw the ball out there. He's almost got to float it up there like he's shooting a basketball while having that come down quick enough before the linebackers can come. That all happened. Demillion caught it, made one man miss. He had all those blockers in front of him, and it was just a pretty touchdown.
First down 10. Here's a quick pass, open at the 20, up the Cleveland sideline and tackled right around the sticks. Close to a first down. The Wildcats playing a little soft. The coverage by the Wildcats, Caden Stewart, Zayden Williams, Wayne Gibson. It's a gain of 9 on the play. Nice play there by Cleveland.
Yeah, nice play. And if you're a Cleveland fan, what you want to see is you're not even worried about points right now. You just want to see string together a nice drive here where you get a couple first downs. These guys have stopped their drives before they've even gotten going. That's a good start right there. Let's see if they move the sticks.
Second down, then a yard to go. There's a high snap. The quarterback is going to be sacked. Surprised he didn't hand it off. He only needed a yard, and he went back, and he is going to be sacked by Monte Bishop. Great play. The Wildcats have gotten good pressure. Surprised he just didn't hand it off. They needed 1, and they are going to lose 4 on this play. It's going to be now 3rd down and 5. Big play, Oak Ridge.
Yeah, David, Monte Bishop back there, I'm with you. To me, when you're struggling, and specifically part of the reason they're struggling is they've shot themselves in the foot with penalties and bad plays. I think at that point, just give yourself a shot to reset the chains. That time they didn't do it, and here's another penalty.
We'll check the call here. We're down to 7:42 to play. Second quarter, 21-0 Oak Ridge. It's homecoming. Remember, we'll have the homecoming court, and one of our own camera guys is in the running for homecoming king, David Urbanowitz. I don't know if you knew that, Alex, but he is in the running for homecoming king, and I'm pulling for anybody to win, but it'd be great to have one of our own. We had a couple do that before. If you remember, Austin Wang was homecoming king back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember Austin Wang doing it. David, I think he wins Best Dressed Prep Radio member of all time tonight.
3rd down, 10 yards to go. McGowan running for his life again. He's going to throw across the way, batted down. A lot of contact there. He was just running for his life, and there was some contact between the Wildcats defensive back, Zayden Williams. It was intended for number 3, Braden Mejia, and it's 4th down again, and guess what? The Wildcats are going to have great field position, barring a 90-yard punt here. Jarrell Jimerson standing back at around the Cleveland 46-yard line. The Wildcat defense came ready to play.
They absolutely did. They're not taking this opponent lightly, no matter the record, and that's a sign of a well-coached team.
Here's the punt. It's high, spiraling, now wobbling over towards the Cleveland sideline. It went out at around, let's see, they're going to walk it up the line. Let's see where they're going to say, oh, wow, that's a terrible spot. It was caught where the guy is standing, but the ball went out of bounds much farther up the field. They're going to say exactly the 50-yard line. That is absolutely a terrible spot. It was caught by a guy on the sideline, and it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 50-yard line.
Just wasn't meant to be for the Wildcats that time. They lost about 5 yards on that punt, actually, from where I'm sitting up here. I have a great view of it. I'm like you, David. Bad spot.
Wildcats had 2 receivers split to the right, 1 lone man to the right as well. Quarterback Blaine Stansberry back to pass across the way, caught by Jarrell Jimerson at the 40. Moves the ball down to the 39-yard line, where it'll be a 10-bank of Oak Ridge. First down at the 39-yard line. Nice crisp pass that time to Jarrell.
And how hard is it to game plan for this offense? You think Demillion Porter running the ball, you've got Malik Howard, you've got Will Presley, and it's actually been Jarrell Jimerson who's been the most targeted Wildcat offensively. And then also in the screen game, DeMille's been the one that caught a touchdown. So it's so hard to prepare for this offense. We talked about schematically the things they do, but there's just so many playmakers.
First and 10, a little reverse play on the Demillion Porter to the 30, down to the 27-yard line. Really nice play. You're right. The Wildcats continue to put different wrinkles into their offense, and that is, once again, another fine run, and that's another 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down.
And not only do those wrinkles help you continue to have success in game, but it also helps you for games down the road because the Bradleys of the world, the Marivilles of the world who have to scout you, now they're having to take time away from the run game to focus on other pass plays, and they can't just key on Will or Malik or Jarrell because now Adam Washington's getting into the fold. It just, any other wrinkle you can do helps you not only in these games but also down the road.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 27-yard line. Blaine has time to pass. Will Presley, end zone, pass, batted away at the last moment. It'll be second down and 10. 5:45 to play. We're in the first half. Remember, the Laura Lynn Green State Farm Insurance halftime show will take place at halftime. Mark and Shauna Hayes will have the stats. We'll also try to get the sound from the Homecoming and Hall of Fame, as the Wildcats now have it second and 10 at the Cleveland 27-yard line.
What a challenge that is. Will Presley, that was an intended pass for him. Jai Isbell, the corner on the far side, all by himself out there. That's a freshman that just made an excellent defensive play and recovery, breaking up that pass intended for the senior Presley.
Blaine Stansbury's going to roll to his left, looks, flags are down. We're going to have a hold as Blaine's going to run and be pushed out of bounds. I think we're going to have a hold at the line of scrimmage. A flag flew in. It looked more like a pancake, but I guess the official said no syrup on that one. And Jared Bafford, who just committed to Chattanooga, can't believe it.
I didn't see that one, Mike. I don't know if you saw it either. It was, but I'll say this: the official, Mike, he didn't hesitate. He threw it immediately.
Well, I was watching the runner, and the play actually happened, the penalty, in the middle of the field, so I missed it too. Anyway, look at it. Wildcats lost 5 yards on that play.
Wildcats penalized 10 yards. It'll be second down, 20 yards to go. Wildcats never get home cooking, as a lot of people say they do, as the ball's going to be put down at right at the 37-yard line. As I mentioned, it's second down and 20 yards to go. Blaine's going to pass across the way. Pass is caught right down the middle of the field. The Wildcats move the ball to the 15, breaking a tackle all the way. Really, really hard, strong run by Oak Ridge's big man, and then the ball is knocked away, and guess who comes up with it? The Cleveland Blue Raiders.
Child Isabel there on the recovery. You know, I just think Malik got caught trying too hard. He was struggling for everything he had. He drug him for about 7 or 8 yards. Then somebody got in there and slapped the ball out, and Child Isabel came in and recovered the fumble for the Blue Raiders to set them up. But they've got a long way to go against a really tough Wildcat defense.
Second week in a row, the Wildcat tight end has put the ball down on the ground. It'll be Cleveland, not great field position. They'll start at the 13-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. McGowan at quarterback, one running back behind him. There's a high snap. He's going to throw across the way. Nice pass. Nice upending tackle by the Wildcats right around the 24-yard line. Really nice play. Just a little quick hitter, and it's first and 10, Cleveland.
Yeah, it looked like Kyrie Scott, the junior, making that nice. And like you said, the quick hitters, that's what they've had success on when they've tried to get cute or do stuff really downfield. That's when the defensive line for the Wildcats has been able to get penetration.
Handoff goes to the back, and he's tackled at the 25-yard line. 4 minutes, 37 seconds and counting here in the first half, 21-0. The Wildcats next week playing another team out of Cleveland, Tennessee, the Bradley Central Bears. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff drummed down in Cleveland. We'll hope you'll make the trip. If not, we'll have it on the radio and on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Second down, 8 yards to go from the 25-yard line. 4:13 to play. McGowan to pass. Pass is caught at the 30. One-on-one, the tackle slung down right around the sticks, but he's still going to be about a yard short. It'll be for the Blue Raiders, third down, and we'll call it 1 yard to go. Jarrell Jimerson on the stop. It's a long one to go for a first. Let's see what the Wildcat defense can do. King Sandoval, Tim Walters, Dominic Vasquez, the three guys on the front line for the Oak Ridge defense. High snap to McGowan. Back is hit and dropped by Big Tim, and he's not going to get the first down. It's going to be 4th down facing Cleveland. It's a loss of a yard. Beard got knocked down by Big Tim. It's 4th down for Cleveland.
Yeah, and there's no hesitation, and I kind of don't blame them. They're going to go for this. They're sending another speedster in, and why not? You know, I don't know that I would do this. It's kind of a gutsy call, but at the same time, with Oak Ridge's quick strike ability, there's no guarantee that even if you punt this, that you're going to be down any less than 3 scores right now. And Oak Ridge doesn't like it. David, they'll call a timeout. Let's take one with them. In 30 seconds, we'll be back to Blankenship Field.
We have another class of Wildcats that's here tonight. Welcome to the class of 1963, celebrating their 80th birthday.
Another reunion here at homecoming. The class of 1963 is here, 1980, 1975. There's a lot of them here tonight on this homecoming, and what a beautiful night. We've had some great weather, knock on wood, for our ball games to this point, and we'll have the same kind of weather next week when we travel down to Bradley Central. It'll be 4th down facing Cleveland, 4th and about a yard.
Big play right here. I need Big Tim Walters to come in and make a stop right here through that middle.
Here's a quick snap. Blake Woody trying to get him. He's going to turn the corner, and he's going to move the ball for a first down right at the 40-yard line. There was nothing in the passing game, and he just got to the outside. And you said this earlier, Alex, if he decides to run, he's going to be hard to bring down. It's a first down for Cleveland.
Yeah, Coach Rang's not happy. The Wildcats had a linebacker that had a shot, and he just took too sharp of an angle. I think what Coach Rang is telling him, in maybe a few different words, is, hey, you've got to take a better angle because you were initially in position to make that stop.
There's a big stop right there behind the line. The Wildcats, Big Tim. Once again, Tim is dominating tonight, and he is going to be heading towards Austin Peay. And you talked about Jared Bafford headed towards Chattanooga. We got some big linemen that are going to be playing next season, hopefully, at the college level, and that's a big play by Big Tim.
You know, this is a conversation for maybe later in the night, or maybe an off-air conversation, but talk about just the frontline depth of this team, the starters, and how many Division I players, even guys maybe that are sophomores or juniors. This is one of the more talented teams we've seen in quite some time from a collegiate standpoint.
Under 2 minutes to play. Here's a quick pass. It's high, too high, goes sailing into the Oak Ridge bench. And it'll be 3rd down, 11 yards to go. Green, the intended receiver. 1:52 to play. We're in the second quarter, 21-0. The Wildcats on top. The Wildcats last week had 3 turnovers. The Wildcats with a turnover here and kind of a sloppy first drive, but they've been able to move the ball. The defense has been very, very stingy. We'll have the complete statistical rundown at halftime with Mark and Shauna. 3rd down and about 12 for the Blue Raiders as they move right to left. Ball is at the 38-yard line. McGowan running again, now running into trouble, now running out of it, wants to throw it, but now is going to toss it down the field. It's incomplete. And, he's just running for his life. He's a big kid. Talked about, he looks very strong. Pass is incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and they'll punt again.
Yeah, and shout out to Zayden Williams on the corner there. We don't call his name a lot, but I think there's a reason for that. It's not because he's not making plays. It's because he's consistent, and quarterbacks don't try his side a lot. He's a big, rangy athlete out there, 6'1", 6'2" at cornerback. That's rare, and what he did that was impressive is even though that cornerback got outside the pocket, the quarterback did, looked like he was going to scramble. He didn't get caught looking in the backfield. He stayed with this wideout, and that's why that guy wasn't open in the end.
Here's a shorter punt this time by the Blue Raiders. Going to take a bounce out of bounds at around the around the 35-yard line. Let's see where they officially put it out, at the 34. And that is where Oak Ridge will have 91 seconds to operate, try to get in the end zone before the end of the first half. 21-0 is our score. It's been a little bit of a sloppy game at times for the Wildcats, but also they've looked good at times. And, Coach Rang is always concerned about, when you play region opponents, you got to play your best every week. And so far, so good. The Wildcats lead at 21-0, trying to go 5-0 on the year.
Yes, so far, so good. They, like you said, a little bit of a slow start, but they've looked sharper since then. And, David, one of our camera guys got taken out at the end of that play. Hopefully he's okay. Unlike you, when I got taken out about 15 years ago, my first question is not going to be, is the camera okay?
I just hope he got the shot. Here's our pass. It's going to be caught by Jarrell Jimerson. What a catch. Just snagged it out of the air. Absolutely a fantastic snag by Jarrell Jimerson. He just snagged that out of the air and then was able to maintain his balance, moving the Cleveland territory down to the 38-yard line. Quickly, the Wildcats come to the line. Blaine's going to hand it off to DeMillion. DeMillion, 35. It's towards the sideline and goes out of bounds at around the 20, trying to look exactly where it is. Either way, with 1:10 to play, the Wildcats have it 2nd down and 2. It's a gain of 8. Incidentally, all the touchdowns tonight sponsored by the class of 1989, who have been putting on some great tailgates up at the 1989 pavilion. They roasted a pig up there, and then all kinds of tents and such were around that pavilion. Congratulations once again. Great job by the class of 1989, and we're sponsoring all of our touchdowns. Line is the 30-yard line of Cleveland. 1:10 to play. First half, 2nd down, 2 yards to go. Blaine Stansbury all alone in the backfield. Rolls to his right, has all day. Looks to pass. He's going to throw it. He's going to throw it away. Looking either to Will, but I think really he was not open, so I think Blaine just wisely just threw it so nobody but Will could get it. It's incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 2.
And the Oak Ridge Wildcats really were covered up that time. Blaine really didn't have a chance to make a good throw because the Cleveland defense was right there. So that just, Blaine did the right thing by throwing it out of bounds, incomplete.
The Wildcats still have 2 of their timeouts. They have it 3rd down and 2, 1:03 to play, leading 21-0 here at Blankenship Field at the Cleveland 30. Blaine Stansbury, 2 receivers, 3 receivers. Blaine's going to throw across the way. It's going to be caught for a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down. It's going to be caught by the Wildcats. Malik Howard, I do believe. It'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats on the 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down. 57 seconds to play in the first half. Wildcats quickly come to the line, which is the Cleveland 23-yard line. Stansbury is going to hand it off to DeMillion Porter. DeMillion, got just rocked in the backfield. He's going to get to the 20-yard line, gain of 3. See the Wildcats call a timeout. One of the Wildcats slow to get up. They're going to call a timeout. 42 seconds to play first half. 21-0 Oak Ridge. We'll take a break. We'll be back to Blankenship Field in 60 seconds.
First by number 56, Peyton Martin. Also in on the stop, number 52, Trey Hyman.
Second down, 7 yards to go. 42 seconds to play first half. The ball is at the Cleveland 20-yard line. Blaine Stansbury back to pass. Looking. Now we'll have to run it. Tucks it tries to get to the corner. No, he wants to continue to throw it. Now we'll run it and goes out of bounds. Nobody was open. Good defense there by Cleveland. Took a long time, just looked, and nobody came free. It'll be third down facing the Wildcats with 31 seconds to play.
And a nice play. You'd rather pick up a couple yards than throw it away if you're Blaine, but you also don't want to run the risk of getting tackled in bounds and having to burn your last time out. You only have one left. So a nice job. He decided to tuck it, but quickly got out of bounds to save that last one.
Third down, 7 yards to go, 31 seconds to play. Demillion Porter in the backfield. The Wildcats have two receivers left, two to the right. Blaine back to pass. Pressured, goes in the end zone. Will Presley, touchdown, Oak Ridge. Will Presley with another score, his second touchdown of the ballgame. And Oak Ridge leads Cleveland 27-0 with 25 seconds to play in the first half.
You hear about quarterbacks throwing receivers open. That's exactly what happened. Blaine Stansberry had Will Presley streaking down the right hash. If he throws that straight ahead, the defender's got the angle and is going to bat that down. Instead, he throws it 3 or 4 yards inside. It allows Will to break on it, and he just threw him open. Beautiful, beautiful play.
And here's the kick by Eli Pierce. It is good, but they got a roughing the kicker as well. 25 seconds to play first half, 28-0 Wildcats. We'll be back with another Oak Ridge kickoff following this 60-second timeout.
In the second quarter, Anderson County 14, Carter 14. 7, Powell 7, Carter 3. Maryville 28, third and 10. Second quarter score, William Blood 13, Halls 3. Second quarter score, Heritage 20, Fulton nothing. Pearson to kick off for the Wildcats. Deep for Cleveland, number 8, Cameron Wilson. And 21, Johnny Isbell.
Welcome back once again to Blankenship Field in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, in front of a big crowd here. The Wildcats and Cleveland Blue Raiders haven't played since 2014. The Wildcats trying to even up the series at 3 wins apiece. Cleveland won in 1968, 69, 87. The Wildcats winning in 88, 2014. Eli's kick is in and out of the end zone. That's another touchback. 28-0. The Wildcats have the lead in their first game in the region. They'll take on Bradley Central next week. Wildcats, what a nice play again by Blaine. Found Will in the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Ridge.
Yeah, and how many times have we said that over the last 2, 3, 4 years? It's been incredible watching those two grow and watching those two develop into tremendous high school football players, and ultimately guys have got shots to play at the next level. But just a beautiful play design, and we talk about these skill players, and for obvious reasons they're incredible, but I want to remind people none of that happens if those big guys up front don't protect.
Handoff goes for nothing. That might be the final play of the first half here. The Wildcats have the lead by a score of 28-0. Let's see if Cleveland tries to get one more play off. They don't appear to be in any kind of hurry to do so. It looks like they're going to head up the hill trailing 28-0. We are live at Blankenship Field. My name is David Clary, along with Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan, Mark and Shauna Haste, along with Brian Bennett back in the studios of FM 92.7. We're also joined by our camera guys, Caleb Jackson, Grayson Brown, along with Connor Sharp, Matthew Charles, along with Jake Pfeiffer and Connor Sharp. Missing somebody, Miles Bergen, as well. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll have the start of the Laura Lynn Green State Farm Insurance halftime show. 28-0 Wildcats. We'll be back to Blankenship Field. It's homecoming. We'll have all of that. We'll have the statistics and a lot more. We're live at Blankenship Field. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
right now. It's going to flick that up.
And I'm going to hold, you got to hold it up to you, and you got to do this one too. So whenever they give you, I don't know, did they tell you?
She's also going to speak.
Okay, so just make sure.
I don't know the signal though.
Yeah, it looks like the Bengals are still doing it. Maybe we should have. Okay, all right. Did it go?
All right, go. All right, here we go. Thank you, everyone, for coming to Oak Ridge's homecoming football game. Throughout Oak Ridge High School Spirit Week, many students participated in school spirit dress-up days, contests, and activities. This week has been so much fun, and now we will be closing out with the crowning of our homecoming king and queen.
Each year, the senior class nominates candidates for homecoming court. This list was narrowed down to 5 young men and 5 young ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 homecoming court is... Miss Natalie Reynolds and Porter Johnson. Miss Ayana Walker and Isaac Nadine. Miss Abea Mitchell and Malik Newcomb. Miss Aaliyah San Nicholas and Nathan Kizire. Miss Aubrey Williams and David Urbanowitz.
Today, the entire student body voted homecoming king and queen, and we would now like to share those results with you. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 homecoming king is Isaac Nadine.
And your 2025 homecoming queen is Aubrey Williams.
Congratulations to Isaac and Aubrey and to all the 2025 Homecoming Court members. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the halftime ceremony.
Tonight, we'd like to also continue as we celebrate the 39th anniversary of the Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame. Earlier this afternoon, the 2025 inductees were honored at a reception in the Wildcat Arena at Oak Ridge High School, where the Hall of Fame is on display. You're invited to stop by and visit the display when you're visiting the high school. At this time, we'd like you to join us as we welcome to the field the 2025 Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame inductees. We'd like to welcome Aaron Green. Aaron is a 1995 graduate of Sweetwater High School, where he excelled in basketball. Aaron would play basketball in college for the University of Tennessee, where he appeared in 100 games for the Volunteers. Upon graduating, Aaron would flourish in coaching high school basketball. Aaron took over the reins of head coach of Oak Ridge High School in 2010 and has compiled 410 victories. And in those 15 years, the Wildcats have won the district regular season or tournament every single year. Coach Green has led Oak Ridge to seven state tournament appearances, finishing as runner-up twice. Congratulations to our most winningest basketball coach, Aaron Green.
Our second inductee is Dwayne Horton. Dwayne is a four-sport athlete and a 1977 graduate of Oak Ridge High School. Dwayne earned a total of 9 varsity letters during his career at Oak Ridge. He was a standout in both football and basketball, but he also lettered in all 4: football, basketball, baseball, and track and field. He was a 2-time All-State football player and a member of the 1975 state championship team. He was also named to the Joe Namath All-American team while here at Oak Ridge High School. Dwayne would sign to play football at the University of Arizona. Let's have a great big welcome home to Dwayne Horton.
And now we'd like to welcome to the field Pam Reedy. Pam is a 1973 graduate of Oak Ridge High School. She danced professionally with Ashton Cockman Productions in Los Angeles. Pam is a dance teacher at the Oak Ridge Academy of Dance since 1975, where she has won an impressive 14 national titles. She coached the original Dance Cats at Oak Ridge High School from 1988 to 1994 and from 2012 to the present. Pam has coached 64 dance athletes who have danced in colleges all over the country. 46 are Oak Ridge graduates. She has 8 athletes who are currently in coaching positions. Let's give it up for Pam Reedy. Our final inductee tonight is Jadon George. Jadon is a 2011 graduate of Oak Ridge High School. Jadon currently holds school records in the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, the long jump, and the triple jump. Jadon also holds the school record as a member of the 4x100 meter relay. He won the state title in the 200 meter dash in 2011. In 2011, he was also selected as the Prep Extra Boys Track Athlete of the Year for the Knoxville area. Jadon would sign to run track at East Tennessee State University. He currently holds the ETSU record for the long jump. Congratulations to our 5-time record holder and fastest Wildcat ever, Jadon Short. Let's give all of these inductees another round of applause as our Oak Ridge High School Wild Band gets ready to take the field for their halftime show.
Let's take a 3-minute timeout. 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the halftime stats and more from Blankenship.
Please welcome the Oak Ridge High School Marching Band. Conducted by drum majors Cynthia Marcus Brock and Ira Diane. Performing their 2025 competitive show, Playbill, a tribute to the music of the stage. This show features music from the Broadway production of Les Miserables, Phantom of the Opera, Jesus Christ Superstar, West Side Story, and Wicked. They're under the direction of Michael Sturko and Sean Rutherford. Assistant directors are Alex Cantrell and Ashia Spencer. The guard is under the direction of Ireri Takovo, Tommy Francis, and Audrey Aiken. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit back and relax. Enjoy the show.
Laura Lynn Green halftime show. Mark Haste has your stats.
Thank you very much, Alex. As you said earlier, Oak Ridge on top at the half by a score of 28-0 over Cleveland. Look at the statistics first for Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge led on the ground by Demillion Porter. He has 48 yards on 9 carries. That's an average of 5.3 yards per carry. Blaine Stansberry, quarterback for the Wildcats, he's carried the ball 3 times, netting -3 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats have rushed the ball 12 times, gaining 45 yards on the ground. Through the air, quarterback Blaine Stansberry for the Wildcats. He's 11 of 15 for 206 yards. Receiving for the Wildcats, they're led by Will Presley. He has 75 yards receiving on 3 completions. Malik Howard, 55 yards on 3 completions. Jarrell Jimerson, he has 3 receptions for 53 yards. And Demillion Porter, 2 receptions for 23 yards. So as a team, as I said, the Wildcats, 45 yards on the ground on 12 carries. They have 206 yards through the air on 11 receptions for a total offense tonight in the first half of 251. Wildcats have 12 first downs in the ballgame. They do have 1 penalty for 10 yards. Now looking at Cleveland, they're led on the ground by their quarterback, Kaysen McGowan. He has 17 yards on 5 carries. Brashawn Beard has 7 carries, netting 0 yards. And Braden Maha has 1 carry for -3 yards. So as a team, the Blue Raiders have gained 14 yards on 13 carries. So the Wildcats doing a great job defensively, only allowing an average of 1.1 yards per carry in the first half. Through the air, the Blue Raiders were more successful. Quarterback Kaysen McGowan, he's 8 of 13 for 47 yards. Receiving for Cleveland, they're led by Kyrese Westfield. He has 2 receptions for 13 yards. Kyrie Scott also with 2 receptions for 13 yards. Lacorius Edens has 10 yards on 2 receptions. Amelia Green has a 9-yard reception. And Daxon Evans has a 2-yard reception. So as a team, Cleveland has 14 yards on the ground. They have 47 yards through the air for a total offense of 61 yards. They have 3 first downs. They've been penalized 3 times for 15 yards. So look at the team side by side. Rushing yards, Oak Ridge 45, Cleveland 14. Passing yards, Oak Ridge has 206, Cleveland 47. Total offense, Oak Ridge with 251 total offensive yards in the first half, Cleveland 61. First downs, Oak Ridge has 12, Cleveland 3. Penalties, Oak Ridge 1 penalty for 10 yards, Cleveland 3 penalties for 15 yards. Again, this is Mark Haste, where Oak Ridge leads Cleveland Blue Raiders at the half by a score of 28-0. And we'll be back after this 2-minute timeout.
Welcome back to the Laura Lynn Green State Farm halftime show. Fats Barbecue, where family atmosphere meets terrific service. For the past 30 years, we've proudly served our community from our storefront at 366 East Tennessee Avenue, Oak Ridge, Tennessee 37830. In addition to our beloved restaurant, we also offer a food truck and catering services, ensuring we bring our delicious barbecue to you wherever you are. Our commitment is to create a welcoming space where everyone feels like they truly belong. It's time, Mike Sheehan, for one of our favorite parts of the game. It's the Fats Trivia for halftime. Get your phones ready. Fats is offering a family meal with $30 value each game. Tonight, the first caller to reach out to 865-310-7207, that's 865-310-7207, answering the following trivia question will get that $30 value coupon for Fats Barbecue right here in Oak Ridge. This is a question we've asked before, and I always know one of the two answers. I never know the second one. Mike, tonight's trivia question. 2 Heisman Trophy winners have played here on Blankenship Field. 2 Heisman Trophy winners have played on Blankenship Field. Who are the Heisman Trophy winners, and where did they play in high school? Again, last time, 2 Heisman Trophy winners have played at Blankenship Field. Who are they, and where did they play in high school? Call 865-310-7207 now. The first caller will win that award. Mike, you have a thought on that? Don't give it away, but you have a thought on it.
I won't, but I will tell you I was here for both of those players when they played, and it's been a long time ago, but they were both outstanding high school players and, of course, went on to win the Heisman.
In the meantime, we'll get a quick halftime scoring summary from you, Mike, and we'll announce that winner as soon as we get it.
Thank you, Alec Myers. This is the Wild Man Mike Sheehan with a scoring summary for the Oak Ridge-Cleveland game. Started out a real slow quarter, but with 3 minutes and 6 seconds, Blansbury backed up and threw a beautiful pass to Will Presley for about a 20-yard up-the-field gain, and Will broke several tackles, went up the right sideline for a 43-yard score. The Wildcats went up 6-0. Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led in the first quarter 7-0 for the only score in the first quarter. Then early in the second quarter, with 11 minutes and 53 seconds, Blaine Stansbury reared back and threw a beautiful pass to Malik Howard from 24 yards out, and the Wildcats went up 13-0. Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 14-0. Then with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left, the Wildcats got down to the 23-yard line where Blaine Stansbury threw a nifty-looking pass to Demillion Porter, who ran the ball into the end zone from 23 yards out, and the Wildcats went up 20-0. Eli Pearson came in after a offside penalty. He only had to kick it from a yard and a half out, backed up, of course, 10 yards to kick it, but he put it between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 21-0. Then with a mere 27 seconds left, with great blocking up front by Jared Bafford, Eli Young, Caden Shipman, Torrey Hope, Nate Stevens, Malik Howard, Adam Washington, Jarrell Jemerson, Will Presley caught his second touchdown of the day, or the night, with a 20-yard nifty pass and catch from Blaine Stansbury to Will Presley, and the Wildcats went up 27-0. Eli came in with 25 seconds left, kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats lead at the half, 28-0. Alex?
Let's take a 90-second timeout. 90-second timeout. When we come back, we'll kick off the second half.
And the kickoff for Cleveland, number 13, Sloan Rolanos. Deep for the Wildcats, number 2, Will Presley. And number 9, Jarrell Will Jefferson.
David Clary back here, Blankenship Field. The second half is underway. Cleveland's kicker puts it into the end zone. We've had nothing but touchbacks in this one. It'll be Oak Ridge's offense taking over. First down, 10 yards to go at the 20-yard line. Alex Myers, our winner, was Connor Goldmeyer of the Fats Barbecue.
Wow, Connor, another legendary player here. Had so many great memories of him, watching him in 05, 06. And those seasons, not only on offense, but it's rare to see a quarterback play both ways, but especially one that will come up and hit you from safety position like Connor did back in the day. Connor Goldmeyer, our winner. Congratulations.
All right. First down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats at the 20. Demillion Porter's going to run the ball 20, 25, and that's where he goes down. Why don't you run down those starters on offense again, Mike or Alex?
At quarterback, Blaine Stansberry. Running back is Demillion Porter. At tight end, Malik Howard. Wide receivers, Will Presley, Jarrell Jemerson, and Adam Washington. And left to right up front, Jared Bafford, Elijah Young, Caden Chipman, Tristan Chartrand, and Nate Stevens.
Thanks a lot. It'll be second down, 5 yards to go, just underway. Third quarter, 28-0. The Wildcats in the lead. Stansberry with Adam Washington to his right. Malik Howard lines up tight end to his right as well. It's going to be Demillion straight up the gut, moving the ball to the 30-yard line. That is a 10 bank of Oak Ridge first down. They officially put him down right on the stripe. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. They're moving the chains here. Good halftime. I was going to tell a story, Alex, about one of the Hall of Fame performers, and when I get a little bit of time, I'm going to talk a little bit about Dwayne Horton and my experience with him. As the Wildcats come to the line, first down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at the 30-yard line. Oak Ridge moving left to right if you're looking down from the Oak Ridge sideline. Some movement on the line of scrimmage. Mike Sheehan's with us, Mark and Shauna Hayes. We got our camera personnel as well. You can watch our Crunch Time show each and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock from the Pizza Inn this week. We've been on the road the last two. As Demillion's going to get the call, he looks for a hole, and there's no place to go. He's going to go down at the 30. Dwayne Horton was inducted to the Hall of Fame today. I was a seventh grader, Alex, when he was in ninth grade at Jefferson. He was a stud athlete at Jefferson Junior High School at that point, and I remember to this day, I mean, I looked up to him like you wouldn't believe. I remember to the day where he actually said hello to me, and I thought it was the greatest thing of my life back in seventh grade. Well, you can laugh at me here in a moment, but that's my Dwayne Horton story. And he went on to play at Arizona. He was a great baseball player, football, basketball. He was a do-it-all guy, and good to have him in the Hall of Fame. Oak Ridge second down, 10 yards to go from the 30. High snap. Blaine pounces on it, and then he's going to be buried in a sea of white. So kind of very similar to the way the first quarter started. The Wildcats with a little miscue. It'll be third down facing the Wildcats.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. You get older and you think, oh, these are just high school athletes. They're players, and, you know, you think of them as kids. But it's easy to remember when I was growing up, I thought the same thing about some of these players. When you're in elementary school and middle school, these guys are flat-out superstars. Mike, after this one, when we get a chance, I'd love to ask Mike who he used to look up to, maybe Jim Thorpe.
Good one. Back to pass, Blaine Stansberry. He's going to pass it, almost threw an interception. And then we're going to have a roughing the passer back here, I believe, as the pass he was backpedaling, Blaine Stansberry was. Then a late flag came in right at the goal line.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm with you, though. That would be very on brand for what we've seen from Cleveland. They do something well, and then they just hurt themselves. It actually, I think it's going to be – I think they're going to say it's intentional grounding, actually. We'll see the call here. David? No, they're going to say roughing the passer. Okay, you were right.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of football games over my lifetime. I can tell when a quarterback gets hit late. just kidding, man. And that's going to bring up third down and much shorter now, 3rd down and 7. It is with 9:02 to play. The Wildcats have an opportunity. Got bailed out because they were going backwards on back-to-back plays. It's going to be indeed a first down on the personal foul penalty. So the Wildcats have it 1st and 10. Ball is at the 34-yard line. So the Wildcats got bailed out by kind of a miscue by Cleveland. Let's see what Oak Ridge can do. They're leading 28-0 with 8:49 to play in the ball game. Wildcats taking some time at the line as the chains are finally moved. Jarrell Jemerson came in motion. Blaine's going to pitch it out to the left side to DeMillion. 35, 40, 45. Cuts to the outside 50, 45, 35, 30. DeMillion Porter run out of bounds at the Cleveland 28-yard line to 29, and then a late hit they're going to call against Cleveland. He was running out of bounds on his own and got shoved late. There is another flag up the field. We might have a hold. This might be offsetting penalties.
And that would be really disappointing because you could see as soon as Blaine turned to toss that the blocking was there, but DeMillion Porter with that cutback vision, saw, hey, I can get 10 or 15 yards easy if I keep this left. Instead, he cut back across field and turned that into a monster gain. Like you said, there's a late hit, a shove out of bounds near where Malik Howard was pushed a few weeks back into that iron fence over there. Thankfully, DeMillion didn't get hurt. However, there is a flag way back at the Wildcat 43, and unfortunately, this is probably going to offset.
Although they're just setting the penalty from the spot of the foul on the Oak Ridge side. But there is that flag way back up the field here. Cleveland personal foul against them. The other penalty, let's see, is going to be against, well, I guess they both were against Cleveland. I don't know what this flag is up the field. I don't know how the referee saw it all the way at the 40-yard line, but they're going to walk the penalty yardage inside the 10-yard line. Not so sure about that one, Alex Myers.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that other flag way back here was. The ending one was, I mean, that's clearly out of that official zone. So I'm not sure, but I'll be honest with you, David. I'm not going to complain because it benefits the Wildcats.
Yeah, most definitely, for sure. The Wildcats have it 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Blaine's going to hand it off to DeMillion Porter, who is going to struggle to the 2, to the 1, into the end zone, and that is a Wildcat touchdown. DeMillion Porter scores with 8 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, and it's 34-0 Wildcats.
And unfortunately, right at the end, he almost walks directly up to the official and just is going to draw a penalty because he kind of spun the ball right in front of him. But that play was a nice run, nice finish by DeMillion. But what set that up was the previous play. They toss left from the shotgun. That time they faked the toss, and it's just a delayed counter back to the right. They got the defense and the linebackers shifting one way. DeMillion comes back on the counter the other way, and they were not going to stop him from getting 6.
And Adam Washington will hold, and once again it'll be Eli Pearson to attempt the extra point. 8:22 to play 3rd quarter, 34-0. The Wildcats trying to go 5-0 on the year. The Wildcats, the 5th-ranked team in the state, will take on Bradley Central next week down in Cleveland. Here's the snap. Good pressure by Cleveland, but the kick is good. 35-0 Wildcats, 8:22 to play 3rd quarter. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett at the studios of WIJV. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Football boosters would like to thank Fox Toyota of Clinton for helping us pack the ship by providing 100 tickets to Oak Ridge High School students for tonight's game. Fox Toyota is a preferred dealer serving Clinton, Oak Ridge, Knoxville, Wallet, and Sevierville area buyer. Are you ready to set up a test run? Visit our Toyota dealership near the Oak Ridge area in Tennessee today. Thank you, Fox Toyota, for your continued support of Oak Ridge football. And we can't forget the student section. Let's give the Wildcat Pride a shout out tonight. Let's hear it, Pride.
Welcome back once again to Blankenship Field. The penalty yardage stepped off against the Wildcats back at the 25-yard line. So, unless he gets a big one off, the Blue Raiders with an opportunity to return. And with 8:22 to play in the third quarter, here's Eli's kick. He hits it. End over end kick's going to go sailing back to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. To the 25, towards the Cleveland sideline, to the 30. The tackle made at the 35-yard line, and that is where the Blue Raiders will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. It's been all Oak Ridge. We got a running clock here in the second half. It's 35-0 Wildcats.
Mike, your thoughts on the? Well, I want to ask. We talked about homecoming and all these different classes. Dave talked about a guy he looked up to, Spencer Goldmeyer. That was a guy I really looked up to. Who's somebody you looked up to back when you were a youngster?
I really loved John Unitas back in the day.
Oh, for Oak Ridge, for Oak Ridge.
Oh, for Oak Ridge. Oh, wow. Probably Sam Morrison when I was a sophomore. He was a great high school quarterback for Oak Ridge.
Beard on the carry.
First down play goes for about 5 yards. It'll be, let's see, second down, 5. Dominic Vasquez makes the stop. Wildcats Caden Stewart. Sam Morrison, I got a chance to interview him years ago, and he was a transfer student, I believe. I'm trying to remember exactly, but he was a fine player. Ball is at the 39-yard line, second down and 5. McGowan running, and he's going to move the ball forward for a first down to the 45-yard line. Got a moving clock here, which means we're going to get out of here quickly unless the Blue Raiders can do something about the scoreboard. It's 35-0. King Sandoval there on the stop. The Wildcats. Why don't you set the defense for us again, Alex?
Yeah, up front, left to right, you've got King Sandoval. At nose, you've got Tim Walters, and then Dominic Vasquez as well. At linebackers, Caden Stewart, Blake Woody, and Amonte Bishops. The two corners, Zayden Williams, and it looks like here's a run. There's going to be a flag right there as Cleveland scampers out down at the 34, but there is a flag on the play. Apologies for taking a little too long there, David. At cornerback, Zayden Williams and Jarrell Jimerson. Wayne Gibson, Quavez Williams, and Tyree Porter round out the back. It looks like this flag is going to be a holding against Cleveland.
You know, a lot of people come, and we go on the road sometimes, and we think we don't get a lot of calls. The Cleveland fans across the field probably are feeling that nothing is going their way, football field or with the officiating. But I can say it's been all Oak Ridge at 35-0. Next week, the Wildcats taking on the Bradley Central Bears for the first time down there since 2013. Last time we played them was in 2014. One of the big games happened in 2004 when the Wildcats beat them 70-0 down in Bradley. But this is a much better Bradley team. Hand off. Now the quarterback's going to run it. He's going to move the ball back up to the 45-yard line where it'll be second down and about 10 yards to go. 5:20 to play third quarter. 35-0 Wildcats.
Nate Stevens there on the stop for the Wildcats, but not before they got nowhere. Third brings up second down and 10 now for the Cleveland Blue Raiders.
From the 45-yard line of Cleveland, they're heading towards Jackson Square. McGowan with a high snap, feels pressure, fires one out here to a wide open man at the 50. Wayne Gibson, Zayden Williams, along with, I believe, perhaps Tyree Porter and Jarrell Jemerson. Caden Stewart actually was number 0. That's a first down. They've moved the ball in the Wildcat territory for the first time. The ball's 38-yard line of Oak Ridge, and they're coming to the line. 3 receivers split to the right, a single man to the far left. McGowan's going to hand it off to Beard, and he is going to be moving forward, but then the Wildcats stop him. I believe Bloody and one other guy hit him after a gain of about 2.
Yeah, Nate Stevens and Wayne Gibson came up outside, cut him off. They didn't make the tackle, but they forced him to cut back inside, where a trailing Nate Stevens and I think Tim Walters and Caden Stewart, all 3 were there to wrap him up. Good pursuit, good angles. That's just good team defense.
Gain of a yard on the play, second down, 9 yards to go, 3:53 and counting. Moving clock here as the Blue Raiders have the ball at the Oak Ridge 38-yard line. Second down, 9 yards to go. Wildcats, as I said, traveling down to Cleveland next week to take on Bradley. Another quick pass, a little more inside pass, and he gets to the outside and then is tackled again. Wildcats playing really soft on the outside. The stop is made by Oak Ridge, but not before, I believe, a first down reception. Zayden Williams on the stop, but 1st and 10 Cleveland.
Yeah, there 2 things are happening as it looks like Oak Ridge is going to call a timeout. Let's take one with them. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Timeout, Oak Ridge. We would like to thank Oak Ridge Pharmacy for their support of Oak Ridge High School athletics. Oak Ridge Pharmacy is a local pharmacy dedicated to your family's health. Located at 854 Main Street West, you can purchase general admission tickets for home games each week, Tuesday through Friday, from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Thank you, Oak Ridge Pharmacy. First and 10 from the 26-yard line.
First down, 10 yards to go, and Big Tim Walters comes in and once again hits Beard behind the line of scrimmage and shaves him down to the turf, and it's a loss of 2 on the play. Second down and 12 yards to go. 3:02 to play. The Wildcats on top, 35-0. Tim's been all over. He has just dominated their offensive line. Here they come to the line, second down, 12 yards to go from the 28-yard line. Beard gets the handoff, curves around the right side, and then he's going to be tackled nicely. I mean, just out of nowhere, the stop is made by the Wildcats, and it'll be for the Blue Raiders a gain of about 3. Jarrell Jemerson with a great fundamental tackle, just hit him low and dropped him.
Great open field tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, he's probably got a first down and maybe more. 2 things happen on this drive that Cleveland's had success. They started hitting quick hitters, and they hurried up the pace. When Coach Ring called that timeout, it seems like it's kind of stifled them a little bit.
3rd and 6, another big hit by the Wildcats right at the 20. The Wildcats kind of closed the gap. Zayden Williams there on the stop, only about a half a yard gained on the play. Actually, they're going to give him up to around the 18-yard line, where it's now going to be 4th down and 2 yards to go. Zayden Williams on the stop, so big 4th down play for Cleveland here. 1:51 and counting. 3rd quarter, they need about 2 yards to keep this drive going. Looking over to the sideline, McGowan looks for the play. Looking, play clock at 20, plenty of time. 4th down, 2 yards to go. Wildcats, let's see if they bring pressure. It's another high snap. Here's a quick pass. It's caught, and he's going to catch it at the 10 and move inside the 10. It'll be first down, goal to go for the Cleveland Blue Raiders at the 7-yard line.
Just a nice opening move that time by the receiver. Clearly, it seems like it's not only the favorite target, but their best athlete on offense, Kyrie Westfield, number 14. And they've been targeting him early and often in this drive, and he's a big, big part of them moving the ball down the field.
Ball is at the 8-yard line. First down, goal to go. McGowan back to pass. Rolls to his right. Tries to get to the outside. He's in trouble. Breaks one tackle. No, he doesn't. He goes down at the 15-yard line. Just couldn't turn the corner. The Wildcats, Caden Stewart just tracked him down and dropped him for a loss back at the 14-yard line. Nice play, Caden.
And unfortunately, McGowan came up kind of gimpy that time. It looked like he was going to check himself out. He went to slide, and it just looked like it didn't. It kind of happened awkwardly, but thankfully for him, he's going to remain in there. He seems like he's a tough athlete, but regardless, nice pursuit by the Wildcat defense and not let him get the corner.
20 seconds and counting. McGowan brings him up. Second down, goal to go. The ball's at the 14-yard line. Full house backfield, little quick pass, batted away nicely by the sophomore defensive back, Zayden Williams, and that's the final play of the third quarter. We go to the fourth quarter with the Wildcats on top, 35-0. We'll be back to Blankenship Field in 90 seconds. Second down, 14 yards to go. McGowan back to pass, floats it to the end zone. The man is there, but the ball is way overthrown, incomplete. Wildcats on top, 35.
No question about it. 4-down territory here for Cleveland.
Blue Raiders.
And it looks like they're going to get kind of some of their receivers in. You know, around the goal line, you want big kind of jump ball type receivers. And perhaps this would have been a different story had they not had so many guys transferred, David, but they don't really have one of those guys. The biggest guy they have on the edge is number 14
originally said third down.
And on the field before the game, maybe he's 5'11". He's not real big. They just don't have a ton of guys down there.
He's got a good leg. He's got
David,
a
are
very
they going to kick a
strong
field goal
leg,
now?
and he'll be attempting the field goal here. It'll be putting down the block, if he has a block. I believe he does, right at the 21-yard line, making this a 31-yard field goal from the right hash. 11:05 to play, trying to stop the moving clock here. And here's the snap. Here's the hold. The kick is on its way. It's blocked. And the Wildcats will preserve their shutout, and the clock continues to run here. And the Wildcats will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats, Wayne Gibson blocks the kick. Nice play, Oak Ridge, and the shutout's intact.
Just a beautiful jump that time by Wayne Gibson. He came off the right edge. He and another Wildcat, if he didn't block it, another Wildcat might have had an opportunity. Mike, that was just a great block, and he really wasn't even touched.
No, he shed his blocker really quick, got around him actually, got in there and just literally smacked that ball away like a volleyball. No good.
10 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Running clock here at Blankenship Field. It's been a great day for the alumni, the homecoming, the Hall of Fame, the Wildcats in the lead, 35-0 with 10 minutes to play. Let's see what the Wildcats can do. The Wildcats going to come out on offense. The quarterback is going to be Kipton Fagan taking over. The Wildcats are going to have new receivers and new linemen in the game. They'll have it first down, 10 yards to go at the 20. Handoff goes for good yardage, moving the ball up to the 25-yard line. I believe carrying the ball for the Wildcats, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that might have been Zachy Booth, and it was. It'll be for the Wildcats a gain of about 5 yards.
Yeah, nice run by Booth. Liam Gerber in there. Josiah McClure, a freshman in there. Also at wide out, a talented sophomore, Amarian Willis. And Nehemiah Adams, another guy, a youngster in there for the Wildcats. Starting lineup still intact for the linemen for Oak Ridge. But like you said, backups the rest of the way.
Willis is going to be split out to the left side along with freshman for the Wildcats. As we mentioned, that'll be Josiah McClure. Wildcats 2nd and 5. Kipton is going to hand it off, and they move the ball up to the 26-yard line. Not a whole lot there. We're down to 8:50 and counting in the ball game. Running clock here. Of course, if you're over 35 points in the second half, the clock runs, and because of that missed field goal, the clock continues. 35-0. It'll be third down, 4 yards to go. The Wildcat Junior Varsity on Monday will be taking on Catholic here at Blankenship Field. It's good to have the Catholic team coming to Blankenship Field Monday for a Junior Varsity ball game. As the Wildcats have it third down and 4, 8:20 to play. We'll have player interviews and Coach Rang. We'll have the scoring summary, which I don't believe we really were able to get to at halftime. Mark and Shauna will have stats as well. Kipton brings them up. Third down, 4 yards to go. Run the 26-yard line once again. Mankov's in motion, and he gets the handoff. That'll be Willis. He is slung down and dropped for a loss. Back at the 20-yard line, and the Wildcats will be forced to punt.
Just early penetration that time from the defense. They tried to go outside at Oak Ridge, just a little pitch play where the quarterback just kind of gets it and tosses it right to the man in motion as he crosses his face, and there's just no real blocking for him out as he tried to get on the edge. Eli Pearson and the starting punt unit in as his stands at the 9-yard line. Here we go on fourth down.
7:28 and counting. And Wildcats laid a man on, I believe, trying to get somebody on. That's Amonte Bishop a little bit late. The play clock is down to 8. Fourth down, 7 yards to go. Play clock down to 5. Eli Pearson's going to punt, and here it is. It's a low line drive kick. He signaled for and made a fair catch right around the 45-yard line of the Blue Raiders, and that is actually the 46, and that is where Cleveland will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. Ticking it on down, Mike and Alex. 6:54 to play. It's been all Oak Ridge tonight.
Yeah, it has. They played really good offense. Got a slow start, didn't really hit on all cylinders. The defense has just been totally dominant, not even allowing Cleveland a field goal. And so they've just played really, really tough defense tonight. All-around great game by the Wildcats.
Appreciate our camera personnel, Alex, Caleb Jackson, Matthew Charles, Grayson Brown, Connor Sharp, Jake Pfeiffer. We appreciate Miles Bergen up in the booth doing our scoreboard work as play is halted for a second and a timeout is asked for. 6:15 to play in the ball game, 35-0 Oak Ridge. We'll take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Thank you to our sponsors, platinum sponsors, El Renete, Domino's, Aubrey's of Oak Ridge, Fire and Foam, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's Oak Ridge, Buddy's Barbecue, Honey Baked Ham, Mellow Loco, Mario's, Calhoun, John Burgess CDS, Just Another Mom Photography, Ridge Church, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinics, PG, Joyce, Meredith, Philcroft, and Norman, class of 1989, Peter Chevrolet, Alexander Guest House, State Farm, Josh Hempel, Cardinal sponsors, State Farm, Laura Lynn, Admiral Tider, Lauren and L, Chuck's Car Care Center, Knoxville TVA, Martin McCamey Funeral, Fox Toyota.
First down, 10 yards to go. McGowan trying to run the ball, tries to get outside, and down he goes on the Oak Ridge sideline. No gain on the play. For those on the radio, first down play went for nothing. The ball moved still up to the 46-yard line. 5:51 to play in the ball game. 35-0 the score. The ball's at the 46-yard line of the Blue Raiders. They're moving with their backs to Jackson Square. Hand off to the running back. The quarterback's going to throw it. He completes the pass. Nice one. I got fooled myself. Up to the 43-yard line. That should be enough for a first down for the Blue Raiders. I know Cleveland, a proud program, would love to get on the scoreboard here and stop this running clock. They've got 5:25 to do it in. 1st and 10 Blue Raiders.
Yeah, it's a little victories. They've still got their starters. This is a team that's winless on the year. You know they want to get a little bit of momentum heading into next week. Nice pass right here.
Trying to make the tackle and trying to get him down, and they finally do at the 33-yard line. Just wouldn't go down. Wildcats have really put on a clinic, guys, fundamentally tackling low, especially when you got our small defensive backs. They don't try to tackle high. They've gone low for the most part, and they've looked very sharp. That's another first down, though, for Cleveland.
It is. Oak Ridge's got a lot of younger guys in. Gerber in there, and we saw him on offense. Kane Knowles, Vashawn Knowles' younger brother's in the ball game. Also Amarian Willis, Joey Marin, and a couple others.
Here comes McGowan running once again, trying to get outside. He's going to throw the pass, and it's batted away and knocked away. Defending it for was Aiden Williams, who helps up the defender, the receiver. The Wildcats once again leading 35-0. Mejia is the intended receiver for the Blue Raiders. 4:12 to play in the ball game. 35-0 the score. Cleveland has it 2nd down and 10 yards to go. The ball's resting at the Oak Ridge 33-yard line. We're traveling down to Cleveland next week as the Wildcats take on the Bradley Central Bears. And the Wildcats about to go 5-0 on the year. And the Blue Raiders still looking for their first win. Here comes McGowan in some trouble. Gets out of there. He's going to throw it towards the end zone. Touchdown. Unfortunately, the Oak Ridge defensive back got tripped up, and then a flag goes down on the play in the end zone. He got tripped up by the receiver, and he fell down inside the 5-yard line and then went into the end zone. All he had to do was catch it, and he did. And the Blue Raiders are on the board. It's 35-6 with 3:40 to play in the ball game, and that stops the running clock.
Yeah, and there's a flag late on the play, which is kind of laughable at what it is. It's unfortunate because the Oak Ridge defender actually was in really good position. It was a pretty nice throw. The defender was right there to make a play, but unfortunately, like you said, they just kind of feet got tangled up, and really through no fault of his own, he kind of tripped and was unable to make that play. He was in position, though, and you got to love it, David, when you're down 35-0 and going against younger guys, and you get in the end zone finally, and then you start unsportsmanlike celebrations.
And here comes the extra point attempt. It's on its way. It's up, and it is good. 3:40 to play in the ball game. 35-7. Oak Ridge in the lead. We'll be back for the Cleveland kickoff in 60 seconds.
For our Cardinal sponsors, West Knox Always Storage, CNS Cares, Jared Campbell Realtor, with Woody Creek Realty, they save a heart. Bronze sponsors, Absolute Millwork Consulting LLC, Oak Ridge Nissan, Gem Technology, Ray and Edge Dance Studios LLC, IBEW Local 270. Thank you, sponsors. Scores of interest, West 48, Campbell County nothing, Anderson County 30, Carter 21. Hartman Valley 10, Bearden nothing. Powell 42, Carnes 3. Central 14, Clinton 7. Maryville 42, Farragut 10. William Blunt 16, Halls 9. Heritage 20, Fulton 6. These are all approximately.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field, where the alumni have been treated to a 35-7 lead to this point in the ball game. 3:40 to play. The penalty against Cleveland will force them to kick off from the 25-yard line, and the Wildcats will have good field position. The clock will not run now as the Blue Raiders have their first score on the board. And the Wildcats have a couple guys back. You know, they're down 35-7. The field position wouldn't be great if they did an onside kick. Wildcats have recovered 2 of those this year. And it's going to be a short pop-up kick, and the Wildcats can return this one. They've got it at the 40, at the 45 to the 50, and then down to the 40-yard line of Cleveland will go the return man, where it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. Wayne Gibson on the return for the Wildcats.
Nice job by Wayne fielding that. A lot of guys, when they have that pooch kick, they just automatically throw their arm up and wave for the fair catch, and that would have been okay. Wayne would have probably caught the ball about the 45-yard line of Oak Ridge. Instead, he says, hey, I've got a little room to work with, cuts it back outside and moves the ball forward all the way down to the 41-yard line of Cleveland, giving this second unit for the Wildcats a chance to get on the board themselves here with 3:33 left in the game.
Kipton Fagan will come back out at quarterback for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge will send receivers to the left and to the right. The Wildcats have Dallin James. He's the tight end lined up on the left slot. Wildcats with a tall receiver falling to the right. Kipton's got a low snap. The Wildcats hand it off to Booth, and he moves the ball forward for a gain of about 3 yards. 3:25 to play in the ball game. 35-7 the score. The Wildcats headed for their 5th win. The Wildcats ranked number 5 in the state of Tennessee this week. And we're trying to get the halfway mark of the season to go 5-0.
Yeah, a couple other Wildcats in there. Brandon Roy. It looks like Gage Pellegrin in the ball game for Oak Ridge. Also, Javier Heck, and it looks like as well Gabe Arrington. I may have missed one, as Oak Ridge has some younger guys in there on the offensive line as well.
Second down, 7 yards to go, 2:43 to play and counting. Kipton's going to give it off to Booth once again. He's going to be tackled. I tell you one thing that I noticed, especially in the junior varsity games, that Kipton, if he pulls it down and runs it, he gets a lot of yards most of the time. Booth just lost a yard, and it looks like Cleveland's going to call a timeout. We've got an injury timeout. Let's take a break ourselves. 2:26 to play in the ball game. 35-7 Oak Ridge. We'll take a break. We'll be back to Blankenship Field following this 60-second timeout.
Third and 7 from the 38.
Third down, 7 yards to go. Kipton Fagan's going to cut it and try to run it at the ball himself, and gets blasted at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down. It'll be 4th down facing the Wildcats with exactly 2 minutes to play in the ball game. The ball is resting at the 37-yard line. Wildcats trying to close this one out. They lead Cleveland 35-7. They'll even the series. It'll be the 3rd consecutive win for Oak Ridge and the biggest margin of victory ever in the series for either team. The biggest victory margin before this was only 8 points in the 5 previous games. Wildcats are up 28 right now, trying to go 3-3 with the Blue Raiders in this very short series. Wildcats milking the clock. It's down to 1:20 to play, and they're going to take a violation on the play clock, and I think they're going to call a timeout. 35-7 our score. I know we have a lot of spots to get in. Let me get one more in. We'll be back to Blankenship Field. 35-7 Oak Ridge, back in 30 seconds.
Test, 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 test.
Oak Ridge High School would like to thank the 2025 season ticket sponsor, is off handed at 11:43 Oak Ridge Turnpike.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field. It's 4th down, 7 yards to go. The Wildcats keep their offense on the field. Let's see if they let Kipton throw the ball here. He's got 2 receivers split to the right, 2 to the left, including Dallin James, the tight end. Kipton is going to throw. Has time, goes across the way, pass wide open, complete for a first down. Moving the ball across the 20. That's a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down up to around the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Nice throw by Kipton.
Nehemiah Adams there on the catch for the Wildcats.
Nemo makes the catch. We're down to 1:03 to play, and the clock continues to move. We're under a minute to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge on top, 35-7. The ball is resting at the 19-yard line. The Wildcats have Booth in the backfield. Kipton Fagan at quarterback. He is a sophomore. Wildcats have 2 receivers split to the right, single man to the left as well. First down, 10 yards to go, 40 seconds to play. Dallin James still in at tight end. I'd like to see one more pass here. I know you don't want to rub it in. This is a region game. You don't want to shove it in their face as the handoff goes for nothing. And that'll be perhaps the final play of the ball game. The Wildcats are going to win their 5th consecutive game to start the 2025 season. The Wildcats will win this game by a final score of 35-7. The alumni, the Hall of Fame members, and all the classes that are here at Blankenship Field and the great community support that Oak Ridge has had since 1943 are going to see the Wildcats go 5-0, and they beat Cleveland 35-7. Alex and Mike, your thoughts on the game? Two teams are shaking hands at the center of the field. The Wildcats win it 35-7. Let's send it off to Brian Bennett. We'll have our postgame show starting in a bit. The scoring summary, the final stats, and of course player interviews and Coach Derek Ring. 35-7 Oak Ridge. Back to Blankenship Field in 3 minutes.
We'd also like to wish the Blue Raiders good luck next week as they host the Rams from Pioneer Academy.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Alex Myers on field now with Caden Stewart. Caden, big night for the defense. Starters pitched a shutout. The whole team pitched a shutout until about 2 minutes to go, and quite frankly, the defender was in a nice position, just kind of an unfortunate foot got tangled up. But your performance tonight from the defense as a team, I'm sure Coach Rain couldn't have asked much more from y'all.
Yes, sir. I think we played our heart out. I mean, this is, they may be, when we played them, maybe 0-4, but that is a good team. That is a really good team. Even last week, our win was impressive. That was a very good team. But don't sleep on them. They're a very good team. They're just very young.
We talked about their youth, but we also talked about on the broadcast tonight, they were 0-4, but it didn't seem like you guys prepared and were taking them as an 0-4 team. I thought you guys started a little slow on offense, but really from that second drive on, and the defense especially from that first drive, you guys looked like you were taking them very serious. Is that something y'all made a concerted effort for this week in practice?
Yeah, because we had the same thing happen to us last year when we played Farragut. We came into the game, high hopes. They're coming off 4 straight wins. We thought we were going to win because they were 1-5. They ended up beating us. So now every game we play, you never underestimate your opponent because you never know what's going to happen.
Your teammate, JT Gormley, went down earlier. We're hoping to get him back at some point. But in the meantime, you've had a guy like Blake Woody that's kind of had to step up. Have you felt even more of a leadership role as this season has gone along as one of the kind of more veteran guys on that defense, especially at the linebacker position?
Yes, of course. With one of the best linebackers to go down, our biggest play caller, I feel like I had to step up and really make the calls. But Woody's also been stepping up. His very first varsity starts. He's been stepping up, been very vocal. He's gotten better every week.
What do you guys need to do at practice this week to stay focused and continue to stay undefeated next week at a much tougher opponent and a really hard place to play?
Man, just come in there with the mindset we're going to win every game and practice as hard as possible.
Hey, thank you so much again. Caden Stewart, line. Down and I see a familiar face, Tristan Chartrand. I've known you since summer camp days, back when you were probably 6-7 years old. And I look out there tonight, you're getting the start. I believe that's your first career start, was it?
Yes, it was.
Was it everything you thought? Tristan, I believe you started at right guard, is that correct? Right guard tonight. Torrey Hunt was out, so some pieces got moved around. You got your first start. This is a guy who, if you don't know Tristan, has been in the program for 4 years now, has waited his turn, has grinded hard in practice, and your time finally came through about halfway through this season. Tell me through the preparation tonight, coming down the steps, knowing you're getting that start. Just tell me and tell those listening what tonight meant.
Well, I'm not going to lie. It was, to be honest, I was not expecting it, being able to start. It was a surprise to me, too, a little bit. But I know that I've been preparing for this since, basically for the entire 4 years of, my time in the program. And an opportunity came, and I took it. And walking down those steps as a team captain, it felt great.
Tristan, you guys played well offensively. It wasn't just that you played, but your group, your unit, the offensive line, as they always do, you guys played really well, and your offense had a great game. What did you guys feel like was your big advantage tonight, and how early did you guys feel like you could dominate this game?
I feel like around the first 5 plays, I think that we started off pretty fast, and as the game went on, it got better and better, especially in our we call it tempo running, and especially in their fast plays, we did really well.
This game, everybody.
Has a little bit of a. Can you hear me? Has a little bit of an injury, and Tristan stepped up, and we feel like did a great job going in there and playing. And, that's the thing about it is when you just never know when your opportunity is going to come. And we have a lot of guys in our program, obviously, that have worked very hard for the opportunity, Tristan being one of them, and obviously stepped up well tonight. And, what we're trying to do is kind of play our offensive line as a unit and play our defensive line rotationally as a unit. And that way it kind of keeps us fresh against teams like Cleveland, kind of playing guys on both sides of the ball. And but that was big for the offensive line to step up.
Yeah, I thought your defensive line, their depth showed very early. It looked like their offensive line was starting to wear down with just in a drive or two, really. You guys had these guys outmatched, but I talked to Caden Stewart. It didn't look like you took this and walked into this team or game against a team that was 0-4. It looked like you guys took them very serious, and I think that says a lot about your coaching staff. But what does that say about your team, and how do you think they came out here, even though they maybe were playing an opponent that's maybe not up to snuff?
Well, I think, when you look at our region, like everybody's going to have some pretty good players. So, Cleveland's kind of a newer opponent for us in football. We've not played them a whole lot. There's not a lot of familiarity there. And they got some good players. The quarterback's tough sucker. We were kind of – I guess what we said defensively was our goal was to really attack their offensive line and quarterback, and we were trying to just send guys, kind of like the Halls game, Alex was trying to send guys from all different angles, and felt like we established that throughout the night. I don't know if they had a first down in the first half or not. I felt like it was just always 3 and outs, and then offensively we put those 3 or 4 drives together and kind of put them away. But that was kind of the plan, just try to get after their O-line and quarterback, give them a lot of different looks, a lot of different pressure points as far as inside, left, right, outside, and just try to harass them all night.
You guys will flip the script tomorrow. You guys usually have a coaches meeting on Sunday where you go in and watch the film and start immediately preparing for Bradley. What do you know about them? I know obviously it's early, but it's a better opponent next week, no question, playing in what is usually a very hostile environment. What can you tell folks, and what will you guys kind of start keying on this week?
Well, I feel like Bradley's always one of those teams that's been a really solid 6A school for a long time. And I think what's happened this year is they've kind of gotten some transfers from Cleveland who have been nice additions to their roster. So I think, they went and beat Farragut 24-10, I guess a couple weeks ago. I think they were playing Red Bank tonight, maybe. I don't know the score of that game. Obviously, we've been coaching all night, but they'll be a good football team. Coach Floyd is a friend of mine. He's been down there for a long time, so they have stability in their coaching staff and their school. Their football culture. It's not been, a revolving door of coaches. So they'll be a well-prepared, solid football team. We're going to have to step up our notch of preparation next week, and it's going to be a great night down there in Cleveland. And hopefully a lot of Oak Ridge fans make the trip down 75 to be at Bradley Central next week.
First region game as a 6A team here at Oak Ridge. Coach, congratulations. The Wildcats continue to roll and stay undefeated.
Yep, thank y'all.
David, back to you.
Appreciate that, Alex. Why don't we take a quick timeout? We'll come back with Mike's scoring summary. The Wildcats winning at 35-7. We'll be back to Blankenship Field with Mike and Shauna and Mark in 3 minutes.
Test.
I'll be on the window. All right. You beat the window, I'll beat the mic.
I apologize about that. We've had a mic issue. So, Mike, while Mark brings his stats over here, we will have you go ahead and start with the scoring summary for tonight's ball game.
Thank you, Alec. Sorry for the interruption. Start the game off 3 minutes and 6 seconds in the first quarter before the Wildcats scored on a beautiful pass from Blaine Stansberry to Will Presley, who caught the ball about 20 yards out and ran it in for 23 more yards for a 43-yard touchdown to Will Presley. Then Eli Pearson came in to kick the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 7-0. Then early in the second quarter, Blaine Stansberry threw a beautiful pass to Malik Howard. Malik made several great moves and ran it in from 24 yards out, and the Wildcats went up 13-0. Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 14-0. Then with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter, Blaine Stansberry threw his third touchdown pass of the night, this time to running back Demillion Porter. Demillion made several good moves to get into the end zone with a 23-yard touchdown pass and catch. The Wildcats went up 20-0. Then Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 21-0. Then with a mere 27 seconds left in the first half, Blaine Stansberry threw his fourth touchdown of the night, this time again to Will Presley from 20 yards out, and the Wildcats went up 27-0. Then with 25 seconds left, Eli Pearson came in, kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led at the half 28-0. Then with 8 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third quarter, Demillion Porter ran one in from 10 yards out to put the Wildcats up 34-0. Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led comfortably 35-0. And then with 10 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game, really a great play by Wayne Gibson to block an attempted field goal by the Cleveland Blue Raiders and left them with still 0 on the board, but it wasn't meant to be, because with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, Casson McGowan, quarterback for the Blue Raiders, threw a 33-yard touchdown pass to Kyrie Scott to put the Blue Raiders on the board for the first and only time of the night. And then Sloan Bandelos came in and kicked the ball between the uprights to give the Blue Raiders 7 points for the night. Final score, 35-7. And now back to Mark Hayes.
Thank you very much, Mike. We'll try to do the statistics here again. Oak Ridge, as you said, victorious by final score, 35-7. Looking at the Wildcats on the ground, they were led by Demillion Porter. He had 109 yards on 14 carries. That's an average of 7.8 yards per carry. His long was 44 yards. Zakai Booth had 5 carries for 8 yards. Kipton Fagan, he had 1 carry for no gain, and Blaine Stansberry 4 carries, netting minus 14 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats rushed the ball 24 times, gaining 103 yards on the ground. Through the air, Wildcats were more successful. Blaine Stansberry, starting quarterback for the Wildcats, he was 11 of 15 for 206 yards. Kipton Fagan came in late for the Wildcats. He was 2 of 2 for 16 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats were 13 of 17 for 222 yards in the air. Receiving for the Wildcats, they were led by Will Presley, 3 receptions for 75 yards. Malik Howard, 3 receptions for 55 yards. Jarrell Jimerson, he also had 3 receptions, but for 53 yards. DeMillion Porter, 2 receptions for 23 yards. Nehemiah Adams had a 19-yard reception, and Amarian Willis had a reception for -3 yards. So, as a team, the Wildcats, 103 yards on the ground on 24 carries, 222 yards through the air on 13 receptions, for a total of 325 total offensive yards. Wildcats had 18 first downs in the ball game. They were penalized 2 times for 25 yards. Now looking at Cleveland, they were led on the ground by their quarterback, Kaysen McGowan, 20 yards on 9 carries. Brashawn Beard had 11 carries for 10 yards. Kyrese Westfield, 1 carry, 6 yards. Braden Mahia had a 3-yard, or he had a carry for -3 yards, actually. So as a team, the Blue Raiders rushed the ball 22 times, gaining 33 yards on the ground. That's a great night defensively for the Wildcats, as they averaged only 1.5 yards per carry, did the Blue Raiders. So through the air, the Blue Raiders were also more successful. They had their quarterback, Kaysen McGowan. He was 15 of 23 for 143 yards. He did have 1 touchdown pass. Receiving for the Blue Raiders, they were led by Kyrese Westfield. He had 7 completions for 65 yards, or receptions rather. Kyrie Scott, 4 receptions for 57 yards. Lacorius Edens had 2 receptions for 10 yards. Emilio Green had a 9-yard reception, and Daxton Evans had a 2-yard reception. So as a team, Cleveland had 33 yards on the ground on 22 carries. They had 143 yards through the air on 15 receptions for a total offense tonight of 176 yards. They had 10 first downs in the ballgame. They were penalized 7 times for 70 yards. So looking at the teams side by side, rushing yards, Oak Ridge 103, Cleveland 33. Passing yards, Oak Ridge with 222 passing yards, Cleveland 143. Total offense, Oak Ridge with 325 total offensive yards, Cleveland 176. First downs, Oak Ridge had 18, Cleveland 10. Penalties, Oak Ridge 2 penalties for 25 yards, Cleveland 7 penalties for 7 yards. Again, this is Mark Hayes. Oak Ridge victorious tonight by a final score of 35-7 over the Cleveland Blue Raiders here at Blankenship Field. And we'll send it over to David.
We are still here at Blankenship Field. So, David, give us just 1 second. And, Mike, as we wait on David Clary to give his final thoughts, let's give our final thoughts. I'll start with you, Mike.
Just a great defensive effort. Anytime you can hold a team to running 1.1 yard the whole game, what a tremendous defensive effort put out by the Wildcats all night long. And then for Blaine Stansberry, another great night, had 4 touchdown passes. 2 to Will Presley, Malik Howard, 1 to DeMillion Porter. Great job by Blaine and all the aforementioned receivers. And then DeMillion Porter's a great running back. He got us many a first down we need, kept the clock moving. Wildcats dominant tonight, actually. With the sophomores did a great job, but they had their starters in. They were up against a bunch of really good, determined Blue Raiders. I'm not disappointed at all in the fact that they scored. Did keep the Wildcats from having a shutout. What an outstanding performance by Oak Ridge. Go Wildcats, big week next week at Bradley County.
Mike, I hope you will be there. I plan to be as well, and I think that maybe we'll break the record here. We'll get out of here before they fire up the blowers down below us, although that's kind of the backtrack and the soundtrack to the end of our shows a lot of times. David Clary has given us the go-ahead to just wrap it up, so I will quit my yapping. But we want to thank you for listening. We want to thank you for supporting our sponsors. Our sponsors get us on air each and every week. Without them, you wouldn't be hearing us. You wouldn't be seeing the games. And we couldn't do what we do. So for all of our wonderful cameramen, for Mark and Shauna Hayes doing the stats, for Brian Bennett back at the studios of WIJV, for Mike the Wildman Sheehan, David Clary, and everyone else involved. This is Alex Myers saying go Wildcats, and we look forward to hearing to y'all listening and seeing another big Wildcat win hopefully next Friday night as the Wildcats travel to Bradley. Good night.